You are now listening to WSN, Wolf Sports Network, live from the University of West Georgia in Carrollton. The Wolves play here, now an Odyssey station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, this is Sports Pack.
The only place you need to go for West Georgia sports.
Interviews with all your favorite UWG athletes and so much more.
Keeping you up to date with the NFL, NBA, MLB, and everything in between. If you want it, we got it.
I mean, plain and simple, the worst decision Kalen DeBoer has ever made is taking the head coaching position at Alabama.
I wholeheartedly believe that behind Sean Payton and a second-year Bo Nix, the Denver Broncos can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs and be the AFC West champions.
We're also giving you a platform to have your voice heard with our all-new live call-in segment.
So where else would you want to go? We've got all you need and more right here on Sports Pack. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another Thursday edition of Sports Pack. I am your host, Richard Reed, joined today by Keyshawn Ward to my right.
Hello, hello.
Jackson Schrader sitting across from me.
What's good?
And my guy Ryan Kroger to my left running the board over here.
What going on?
We have a jam-packed episode as always because there's always craziness going on in the world of sports. Got a lot of NFL free agency to talk about. The World Baseball Classic is underway. We are in the last few games of the college basketball regular season, and we are gearing closer and closer to the March Madness tournament. There's also some NBA basketball going on as well. There's a whole lot to talk about. And as always, we do not have enough time to get to it all. So we're going to go ahead and get started after a quick word from our sponsors. In a recent survey, almost 53% of full-time college students ages 18 to 22 drank alcohol in the past month. That is why Dream City Brewing Company, Wolf Sports Network, has joined forces with Wolf Sports Network's Drink Responsibly campaign to remind you that there is no drinking under the age of 21. To never drink and drive, even if it's only one drink, and to add food and water when you drink so you don't end up texting your ex, which means know your limits. Stop laughing. How about them Wolves, Ryan?
Ball gets wide and rolls to the right. He's got some time. Everybody's down at the end zone. He heaves it, and it is caught for a touchdown.
We are one. Go Wolves.
I mentioned earlier that we're getting closer and closer to the March Madness tournament, and a lot of Power 5 schools or schools in bigger conferences haven't really wrapped up their regular season play yet. They have one, maybe two games remaining. But here at the University of West Georgia, we are all wrapped up, and we are in ASUN conference tournament play, and both of our teams advanced through the first round. Starting off with our women's team, who went down to Jacksonville, Florida to take on the 11th ranked team in the ASUN Conference, the University of North Florida Ospreys, where they won 93-85, and they are currently in a matchup against the third ranked team in the conference, Queens University of Charlotte. Ryan, can you give me a quick score update to the game because it started at 5 and it's currently, a little more than halfway through the second quarter?
Yeah, 3 minutes, 1 second left in the second. Jacksonville's up 40-23.
Goodness, not an ideal start to that game, Schrader, but we know one thing about this women's team. They are resilient. They gave up 25 points in the first quarter to Jacksonville, but have held them to 15 points since the first. What do our girls need to do to get back into this game?
I think they just need to put their head down and kind of grind. I mean, we've seen this team. They're a very gritty team. They can grind out games, and it's good to see. But really what they need to do is just limit mistakes, but more importantly, make the shots, right? We had that 3-game losing streak at the end of this season just because the shots weren't falling. And so if the shots can fall, if we can just take good shots, high percentage shots, I think that's really what we need to do.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. Looking at the box score now, we're shooting 29% from the field as well as 24 from 3. So, the ball really just has to go in the hoop for us right now.
Yeah, exactly what Keyshawn says. Galifant 0 for 3, Sydney Tolbert 2 for 5, O'Gara 0 for 3, Asia Donald 1 for 7. Destiny Jones is having a game, 3 for 4. So, just need to get everybody going around, I guess, at this point, Destiny Jones, and they got to start making their shots.
Exactly. Now, we're going to keep a close eye on this game throughout the remainder of the show. Like I said, they started right around 5:20, 5:30, and obviously we end at 7, so we're going to keep giving score updates periodically, and hopefully our girls get back into it. Now, last night, our men's team was also on the road in Jacksonville and played in the ASUN Conference Tournament. And they also took down the University of North Florida. Very similar score. They won their game 93-85 after a huge 27-point explosion from Shelton Williams-Dryden, which really isn't even uncommon anymore. He had 27 points, 13 rebounds. The brother is a double-double machine, and that is why he was first-team all-conference. But when we look at the all-conference sixth man of the year, Josh Smith, he dropped 25 points with 3 rebounds and 2 assists off the bench as well. He also had a big game, great performance from the guys, but Schrader, they almost gave it up in the end.
Man, that was an interesting game to watch because I was hanging with some guys in the studio watching the game, and we kind of just stopped watching because we were up by like 20, 25 at some point. It was looking great, and that was in the second half. And then all of a sudden we look up, there's like 5 minutes left, and it's only like a 4 or 5 point game, and we're going, whoa, like what's happening? But they were able to close it out. They hit some clutch shots, clutch free throws, but anytime that Shelton wants to drop 27, Josh Smith wants to drop 25, I think that's a good game, and that gives us a really good chance. I mean, 25 points off of a bench player, like that gives us such a good chance to win the game. So going into this Queens game tomorrow, like, dude, if we can just have that and just yet again high percentage shots, I'm really excited for our chances.
Yeah, I'm out to agree. I mean, Josh Smith 25 points, that's huge. You need something off the bench going into tournament play. I mean, that resilience we talked about. You lead in second half of the game, going up on a 20-point lead, and you almost give it up. You don't need that going into the remainder of the tournament. So you keep resilience, and you got to close the game out. You cannot allow a team like North Florida, a top team in a ASUN, to come back and give us some competition. So going forward, we just got to close our games better, keep playing defense, because you can't allow a team to drop 50 points in the second half. You can't allow that. So all you do, just keep playing resilience, keep fighting, close our games, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and we've seen this in the past just a little bit of West Georgia kind of known for giving up these leads and kind of going into close games. But it's good to see that they were able to get this close game and to win it, of course, because they were up by 20, and then as Schrader said, that got really close. So it's good to see that even if it did get close, even though they had the 20-point lead, they were able to win that one.
And it's still the first D1 postseason win for the men's team, which we should kind of give them props for. Maybe a little round of applause, But yeah, I mean, that's just great to see. One, you get to the D1 level. You can get not only to the D1 level, but to the postseason, find some success there. It's great to show the trajectory of this program.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting game because this is a Queens team that we've seen a little bit of. We split the 2-game series between them, dominated in the first game, lost a very close battle in the second game, 91-84, right around, 2-3 weeks ago. Yep. So this is going to be a very interesting game. Queens is 18-3, third-ranked team in the conference, very talented squad. But we've shown that when we play our best, we can hang and beat anybody in this conference, and Queens is included in that conversation. Like you said, Schrader, when Sheldon is exploding with points like he did the other day, 27-point double-double, and Josh Smith is balling off the bench with Malcolm Noel contributing well as our point guard and lead facilitator, nobody in this conference can stop this team. I'm extremely excited for this game tomorrow night, 7:30, and like I said, we're going to keep you updated with the score to our women's game as well as they try to battle back into their game against Queens. Now, going over to the Diamond, our baseball team, still sputtering, had this midweek off. They're currently sitting at 1-11 overall and have a 4-game series coming up this weekend starting Friday at 4:05 p.m. on the road in Kansas, taking on Wichita State University. Ryan, I want to start with you. What do the guys need to do to get their second win of the season this weekend?
Man, they just need to pitch. They need to pitch like they've never pitched before. I mean, our bats have been good. Our bats have been solid. It's just we give up way too many runs, and that's just the bottom line. That's the silver lining to it. And listen, if we can get into this 4-game set and at least get 1 win, that's what I'm hoping for. At least get 1 win, get 2, get 3, get 4. At least win that opening so you can give yourself a chance in the next 3.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have a baseball team, that's for sure, and hopefully they can win. What they need to do to beat the other team is score more points at this, score more runs. I mean, we can't sound like a broken record where we say the pitching's not great and the hitting's okay. We got to stop saying that. We just got to say, just win, like, please. But really, what they need to do is have complete innings, right? There'll be times where we are pitching well and we can't hit a ball, and there's times where we're hitting well and then we're just giving up more runs than we can score, and we can't do that. We need to put complete innings together. That's what this team needs to do, and I'm hoping that they can do that against Wichita State, but truthfully, I just don't have much confidence right now. Like, I don't know when this next win's going to come.
Yeah, I'm at the ground. I mean, I know it's kind of early to sell your stock on our baseball team, but I mean, we're on an 11-game losing streak, kind of looked good in that second game against South Alabama. We put up 6 points. That's the only good thing about it. So, I mean, like Schrader said, we just got to
keep gave up 21.
Yeah, we gave up 26.
Right.
So,
what are we doing?
offensively it looks good. We just got to, get more runs than they, because pitching-wise, it's not kind of there. So, if we could just put more points on the board than Wichita State and at least give ourselves a chance to make it close. I think we could escape Wichita State with one.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm just appalled by I watched that first game of against the Chippewas, and they looked phenomenal. I mean, not phenomenal, but they looked good. They looked like a solid baseball team. Their pitching was great. Their fielding was great. They hit a couple bombs, and then it just all went downhill from there. And it just doesn't make sense how you can play so well in that first game and then just go downhill from there.
One of the greatest things I learned growing up was if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. I hope our baseball team wins. 1-11 don't look pretty. Playing 4 games this weekend. I hope they at least win one of them.
Yep.
Now going over to the other side, our softball team is currently sitting at 7-15 overall, 2-5 at home, 2-4 on the road. Wait, that doesn't equal 7 wins. Okay, some neutral site games as well. 3-6 with neutral site games. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, looking forward to this weekend. They are also playing 4 games this weekend. Home games, that is. Okay, I'm struggling right here. I don't know why I was struggling to read that schedule. Playing against Gardner-Webb, the first game being Saturday at 1 p.m., the second one being Saturday at 3 p.m., then 2 games on Sunday, one versus Gardner-Webb at 11 a.m., then the other one against the University of North Alabama in their first in-conference game at Sunday at 3 p.m. I am struggling right now. Schrader, take over for me. What do the girls need to do to win all 4 games this weekend?
I think they just, like I said before, first of all, it's always score more runs than the other team, but also complementary softball. I mean, this team has a lot of potential. They have 6 more wins than the baseball team does. They're really entertaining to watch, and there's times when this team turns it on. Like they're great. They went to UAB and they beat the Blazers. Like that's a really impressive thing to do, especially at the stage of where our program is in this transition to Division I. So truthfully, if they just go out there and play their brand of softball, obviously just score, pitch well, what else can you ask for?
Yeah, I agree. Schrader took it right out of my mouth.
Good Lord.
No, but Schrader's right. Just go out there, score more runs than the team, hit, pitch well, and you tell me they beat the Blazers, so they got what it takes.
You know what? Amen, brother. Amen. But on that note, just one more thing before we move on to the next segment. I do want to give a shout out to my cousin Byron Hutcherson and his high school basketball team, Thorough High School. They are moving on to the Final Four in the GHSA playoffs. They've been balling so far. Byron, keep hooping. We're cheering for you over here in Carrollton. Now, Ryan, how about some football?
In the NFL, only one thing matters: chasing a dynasty.
The NFL offseason is officially underway. The NFL Combine really marked the start of it, and the league year started earlier this week on March 1st, and things have been popping off. Going back to yesterday, Trent McDuffie, star corner, former All-Pro cornerback from the Kansas City Chiefs, was traded to the Los Angeles Rams for this year's 29th overall pick in the first round. Keyshawn, what's your reaction to this trade?
It's a trade that the Rams needed to make. They needed corner help. Their best corner from last season was Emmanuel Forbes, who they got from Washington. And honestly, he's not really a CB1 level yet. I see him more as, a CB2 or maybe even sometimes in a CB3, depending on the packages and defensive formations. But, Trent McDuffie, all-pro corner, he was great at in Kansas City, really made a mark for himself as one of the top 5 or top 10 corners, depending on where you want to place him at. But, it's a real great pickup for L.A. They gave up their first-round picks, something that they do quite often. So, this isn't really hurting them as much, and they didn't really have to give up much, just a first-round pick and a couple of back-end picks as well. But I like this pickup from the Rams. It's something that they needed to target going into the draft, so they fixed that problem, and now they could use, that second-round pick to address another option. So I love it for both sides. I expect both teams to really benefit from it well. And the Chiefs got another first-round pick, so they can use that as well.
Yeah, I think this is a good move for both teams, primarily the Rams, because, it's not like they didn't have another first-round pick as well. They have the Falcons' first-round pick, which is even earlier in the draft. So, okay, you basically just cancel those out. You send the 29th pick to the Chiefs. The Chiefs have a nice pick because they didn't make the playoffs. So it's like, I think both teams really benefit. One, Chiefs got so much draft capital. I mean, they got a first-round pick, second-round pick, fourth and fifth. They got a bunch of picks, as well as the Rams being able to bolster that secondary, still have that 14th overall pick. I think it's a really good and safe move for both picks because you have to look at the Chiefs and realize you don't get to where they are as a franchise with a bad front office.
Exactly.
If I'm a Chiefs fan or just an NFL fan looking at this, there's reason for it. The Chiefs probably have somebody that they're looking at for the 29th pick, and we've talked about the talent in this draft pool as well. I think it's a great move for both teams.
It's a very deep draft class. And like you said, when we're looking at the Rams here, they're really only a few pieces away. They were a muff punt away from representing the NFC in the Super Bowl, because if that punt wasn't muffed, they probably go on to beat the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC Championship. This is a championship-ready team. They ended up having 2 first-round picks this year because of the trade with the Atlanta Falcons. Might as well go ahead and move off one to get an established man in the NFL, a guy that can come in and day one fix one of the most glaring issues on your defense, and that is the cornerback position. Going out and getting Trent McDuffie, a guy that you can argue is a top 10, maybe even top 5 to 7 cornerback in the NFL. This is a great move for the Rams. Now, moving over to the AFC, Ryan, the Buffalo Bills made a trade earlier today with the Chicago Bears to acquire wide receiver DJ Moore. What does this do for the Buffalo Bills offense?
Well, I think it's just a great target. Josh Allen has a bunch of great targets, but I think this is just another great target that Josh Allen can use his set of skills to boost his play. Because DJ Moore, he was really good early on in his career, kind of hit a slump a little bit, but now going in the Bills with Josh Allen, I think this is a really good, not just trade for both teams, but as a player for DJ Moore, going with such a talented quarterback like Josh Allen, I think this is really good for the Bills and really good for him.
Yeah, I'm at the. I mean, it's a great pickup for the Bills, but I don't think this pickup necessarily cancels out their need for a receiver.
It's not.
DJ Moore, he's 29 years old. He's getting up there in age. I see him more as their receiver 2 or a receiver 1B. They're still looking for that 1A guy, that true receiver guy, and I still believe that they could get this in this draft class, even if they gave up, I think they gave up a second-round pick for him, so they still have that first-round pick in the back end, which they could use. They either go with C.J. Allen or go with, a guy like Casey Concepcion or even a Zachariah Branch. They still need receiver help, so I think that's still something that they're going to target in the draft despite getting DJ Moore, but all around it's still a great pickup.
Go ahead, Trevor.
This is an interesting pickup for me because it's almost just like a free agency pickup because they traded the second-round pick, which for the Bears, great because they have a great receiving core, even without DJ Moore. But the Bills decided to take on a lot of his contract as well as fully guarantee $15.5 million this year.
A little strange, right?
That's a lot of money for DJ Moore, who ever since signing the extension, he's been solid. He's had some great moments. But that's a lot of money to just bring in a guy and give up that kind of draft capital. I think it's an interesting deal.
Yeah, it really is, because it's been 2 seasons since DJ Moore went for 1,000 yards. In 2023, he had over 1,300 yards. 2024, 966 yards. Then this past season, 682, and what was a very potent Bears offense, but he was not the featured receiver in that offense. Now, there really wasn't one. There was kind of wide receiver by committee there, but he still wasn't really that guy. I think he's going to serve as a very talented weapon for Josh Allen, a weapon Josh Allen needs, a guy he can just look to at any point and just throw it up. DJ Moore somewhere in the area, because Keon Coleman hasn't been that to this point. But I think you're right, Keyshawn. This is not a long-term fix.
It's a bridge.
DJ Moore is a guy that can be a great complement for somebody else, but they still have need at the wide receiver position. I don't think this move is going to help get Buffalo over the hump. It's going to help Josh Allen and that offensive coordinator of theirs, but it's not going to help them get over the hump. Now, those are 2 big trades that have happened so far early in the offseason, but there's 2 more big moves that we're waiting on. The first being a potential trade with the Philadelphia Eagles to move away from A.J. Brown. A lot of big-time teams have been tied to this name of A.J. Brown, one being the Patriots. Has a relationship with their head coach, Mike Vrabel. They played together in Tennessee when Vrabel was the head coach. They went to an AFC championship with A.J. Brown, Ryan Tannehill, and Derrick Henry at running back. But you also have the Baltimore Ravens, a team that missed the playoffs last year when they had Super Bowl dreams, and they need to get at least one more weapon around Lamar Jackson to try to make their last playoff push before Derrick Henry probably goes into retirement. So, Ryan, when you're looking at a guy like A.J. Brown, do you think one of those 2 teams are going to make a move for him? Do Do you think he stays in Philly, or do you think somebody else goes in and tries to scoop him up?
Yeah, I don't think he stays in Philly. I like the New England Patriots, especially because they just released Stephon Diggs and are in dire need of a wide receiver one to help out Drake May behind in the quarterback position. So I really like for New England to pick up him in this trade offseason.
Yeah, I'm have to agree. I mean, I agree with New England as well because that's something he needs, right? As we learned in Philly, he wants the bulk of the targets, the bulk of the catches. He wants most of the production as a true receiver one, and he couldn't get that with Devontae Smith. So I feel like in New England, he has that option versus somewhere like you mentioned, Baltimore Ravens, where they have Zay Flowers. He's going to have to share that load off with him. I don't think that's something he wants. So I think as a team for the Patriots, I think that's a smart move. And if you're the front office of the Baltimore Ravens, you look at the drama that he had last season, and you kind of idolize pairing him up with Zay Flowers and see how that can affect the locker room. So I don't think the Baltimore Ravens target him. I think he goes to the Patriots.
Yeah, I think all signs point to the Patriots. One, with Vrabel being there. Two, releasing Stephon Diggs, which also opened up a lot of cap room for the Patriots. I think it's a great move for A.J. Brown. And you have to remember, when A.J. Brown was traded from Tennessee to go to Philadelphia, like, Vrabel was not happy. A.J. Brown wasn't the happiest. I think a reunion would bode well for both sides, and I think it's really what we're kind of being pointed to happening.
I think A.J. Brown's the kind of player where no matter where you put him, he will be a great fit on the team. The Patriots makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. They just released Stephon Diggs. Him and Mike Vrabel start off a little rocky, but have a great relationship right now. That'd be a match made in heaven. A team that's looking to get back to the Super Bowl after just losing. Young defense, needs some experience at the wide receiver position. It'd be perfect. Baltimore, the Ravens, they missed the playoffs this past year, but just one season ago, Lamar Jackson looked like arguably the best quarterback in all of football. They were incredible. Derrick Henry still running the ball at a high level. Add in A.J. Brown to that receiver room with Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. They look like one of the best teams in the AFC overnight. And then even if we look at a team like the Bills, like we just mentioned, they're obviously looking to go out and acquire more wide receiver talent. They just took on DJ Moore. Imagine pairing DJ Moore up with A.J. Brown with Josh Allen throwing them the rock. That could be incredible as well. There are a bunch of different great potential landing spots for A.J. Brown this cycle, and I really don't know which one fits the best. Like I said, the Ravens sounds great. The Bills could be great. The New England Patriots makes a whole lot of sense. Personally, I'd love to see him go to the Ravens. I know Lamar Jackson needs that help, and that would be one of the more exciting offenses that we've seen in recent memory in the NFL. But there's really no telling. But wherever A.J. Brown goes, he makes the team a lot better.
Yes, he does.
And they will be a Super Bowl contender overnight. Now, that's all the time we have for this segment. We're going to take a quick ad break, but don't go anywhere, because when we return, we're going to dive into – we're going to dive into the World Baseball Classic, and we have a few people waiting on the horn to get in on the action with some call-ins. So stay tuned. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network. WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
Wait a minute. Is this what I think it is? Wii Sports? Let's try something. Let me tell you all about this show on Wolf Sports Network. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. Get with the playbook. It's the playbook. Hear us talk about all of college football, basketball, and baseball. Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m. The Playbook on Wolf Sports Network.
When you think about college sports, what do you think of?
Campus legends like Haynes King and Diego Pavia.
What if I told you there was a show for that and more?
More?
Playbook is your one-stop listen for college football, basketball, baseball, and UWG sports.
The Bulldogs have Ryan Nemhard, a great point guard, and they are going yard. Gonzaga in 5.
Tune into The Playbook Mondays from 9 to 10 p.m. only on Wolf Sports Network.
The Playbook is your home for West Georgia sports. this spring from University Stadium.
And we saw a very well put together offense that was trailing and going into the half, and then comes out in the third quarter and puts themselves up.
To the Coliseum.
We're finishing well at the rim, being aggressive, being physical. A lot of guys are touching the rock. It's been a great start for the Wolves.
And Cole Field.
I hope West Georgia wins. I'm going to be rooting for West Georgia tomorrow.
The Playbook, live every Monday from 9 to 10 p.m.
Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to help reduce the 21% of adults with low literacy skills. We are collecting new and gently used books for every UWG pricks. Get today by visiting the wolfuwg.com/book drive. That's wolfuwg.com/book drive.
And that's why you read.
Donate. Please donate so we can stop things like that from happening. Ryan was talking so much junk about how easy the ad read.
It ain't too easy, is it?
All right.
See, this is our why. This is why
it was the one word that's not actually a full word.
And we're not bullying him. We're just letting him know why we're doing this book drive.
He wanted to do
this. This is important. Literacy rates are low, including yours. Prime example right here. But anyway, let's get back to it. We got a few people on hold waiting to get in on the action. I think we got a recurring caller here, Jeremy Smith, coming in. So, Jeremy, welcome to Sports Pack. How you feeling today?
There we go. Yeah, y'all are on.
Brandon, go on mute for me because we hear you, but I don't hear Jeremy.
Y'all are on.
Live?
There we go. Somebody go.
Yo, I can't hear Richard.
All right. You can't hear me.
Technical
Okay.
difficulties.
Minor technical difficulties. We're getting it figured out now.
Is it not working?
All right. Now go ahead. Can y'all hear me?
There we go.
There we go.
Let's
Jeremy
go.
Smith, welcome to Sports Pack. How you feeling?
Good. I feel like I would give this a round 2. All right, so I got a little question for y'all. So as y'all know, we're on the topic of football right now, and your West Georgia Wolves just started spring ball this past Tuesday, had another solid practice today. What are some expectations for y'all, considering all the drama that happened after last season? Ended the year on a high note. We went from 4-7 to 8-3, had a really good year. Coach Taylor, he sees Mercer, he goes, all right, guys, I'm going to head out. Takes all his staff, half of the roster, some of our recruiters too, and then we had to get a whole new staff with Coach Englehart from Presbyterian, brought in a whole lot of new coaches, a lot of new players, a whole lot of just new everything. I'll be the first to tell y'all, this coaching staff, they're on board. You don't have coaches talking behind other coaches' back. That did happen. I will say that right now. But when looking at the season ahead, what do y'all think we go this year? I don't know if y'all know the schedule or not, but we do have 2, maybe 3 FBS opponents for the first time this year.
Yeah, no, we got Kennesaw State,
how do y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Kennesaw State, Arkansas State, and they're thinking of one more, but I'm not sure on that just yet. As of right now, we have 11 games. So how do y'all feel about this upcoming season after what we did last year?
I think I don't know if it's a unique take, but I think my expectation is kind of the fact that I don't really have any. When you have 70 players, that many players leave, you have to bring in basically a whole new roster, a whole new coaching staff. Like, I'm psyched for this coaching staff, right? They seem great. I've heard from people inside the program, Jeremy being one of them, that, like, everybody's on board. They have a high expectation for themselves. The culture that they're building is great, but just the fact that we play 3 FBS opponents, if that's the case, and then you still have the FCS opponents. Record-wise is not really how I'm going to measure my expectation. I think it's just how does this team gel? How does this first-year coaching staff get these guys to play? Is that culture evident year 1? So really, I don't have that high of expectations for our record. I'm more worried about can Coach establish this culture, and how well can he do that year 1?
Right, because Coach is coming off of a very successful season in FCS football playing at Presbyterian. They went 10-2 overall. He brought in a lot of players from that regime, but like you said, this is a very difficult schedule that they're jumping into. 3 FBS opponents, including an in-state school, Kennesaw State, that is coming off of a historic season for their program. They're really good, looking to reload and win Conference USA for a second year in a row. So this isn't going to be easy at all. And we still have juggernauts like Tarleton State roaming around in the UAC as well that we're going to have to play against this year. It's not going to be easy. I think it's going to be a very talented team year 1, very well-coached team. Like you said, Schrader, we've heard a lot of good things throughout the building. But we have to wait and see. But, Jeremy, I appreciate you for saying that, because if you tune into our YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon, you'll see an exclusive Wolf Sports Network sit-down interview with Coach Englehart, where we ask every question every single person out here has been wondering to get you ready for the spring football and the UWG football season in the fall. Now, Zach Tefelsky, you're live on SportsBack. How you feeling?
Well, first of all, thanks for taking my call. I'm grateful and privileged to be a part of the live call-ins here, and I'd like to shift the topic to NBA, if you don't mind, and particularly the MVP race. Now, it's there. I feel like there's a little bit of bad taste in the mouth when it comes to just talking MVP race this year, and it's not like it's the first year this is the case, but there's a lot of talk about eligibility and stuff, right? Jokic, SGA, all there maybe being victims of the minimum games requirement. And who's the one waiting in the wings? It's Cade Cunningham. But what I'm here to argue is that I don't think a Cade Cunningham MVP would be bad for the game at all. And I think some people, fans and some sports analysts in particular, need to stop talking about a Cade Cunningham MVP like it'd be a bad thing just because of players falling to the game eligibility requirements. I like to put Cade Cunningham as a player up against Jokic, up against SGA, and just look at their pure ball. What I think Cade Cunningham does better than those two names I just mentioned, defense.
Okay.
Yes, Jokic can get rebounds. Obviously, he's a walking triple-double for a reason. But I don't think SGA matches up to what Cade Cunningham is doing this season. For me, I think SGA is a little overrated in the MVP race.
That man can't run.
Brandon,
and
mute
I
yourself.
think it's really going to be about Cade Cunningham versus Jokic down the stretch, but Jokic doesn't have much breathing room left. He's about to become a victim of the eligibility requirement, but I wish that wasn't the case. I wish people could just view Jokic and Cade for what they bring to the court. But Cade Cunningham, let's remember, last thing I want to say, this is a guy who, with one of the most youthful rosters in the NBA, who's trying to get Detroit the first seed, a team that was historically embarrassing just a couple years ago. And that's what I'll end on right there. So I'm curious what your takes are on that whole thing.
Zach, before you jump in there, Keyshawn, Zach, I can tell you are very passionate about this.
Somebody likes Detroit.
And I'm glad you brought this to the forefront. Keyshawn, I'm going to let you have at this. Zach, and you can rebut if you want to.
Yeah, I agree with him. A Cade Cunningham MVP race is not bad at all. I mean, you look at the work that he's put in all season, averaging 25 plus to go along with, I believe, nearly 10 rebounds. And he's got Detroit into the top seed in his conference. They're 45-15 right now, and he's got a great surrounding cast around him with Jalen Duran and, the Thompson twin. But everything is kind of pointing in his direction right now. Everything's looking great. He's playing to the level. I don't know if he could match Jokic. He's a walking triple-double, averaging 30-plus points. But like you said, he's walking on the eggshell with his eligibility right now. So it's kind of looking tough for Jokic. But Cade Cunningham, other than Cade, not Cade, Nikola and Shea, Cade Cunningham right now is looking like the front runner. If he continue to stay healthy and not miss games, and the team's performing well, so he has that to back up his resume as well. I mean, things are looking great for Cade. I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah. Zach, let me tell you one thing real quick. Richard just said it, but you are very passionate about Detroit and Cade Cunningham. I mean, I wanted to actually answer this question, but you took literally everything I was going to say, and then you said it. So
I'm glad you do it again.
I was going to say that again. But, yeah, I agree with you. Cade Cunningham MVP race would be, I think, really good for the game. He's a solid player. And I always have to bring Cleveland into this aspect. But I remember when he played Cleveland, he absolutely popped off, and he looked like an MVP. So, yeah, I completely agree with everything you're saying.
Zach, let me just say this before we let you go. Cade Cunningham is a great player. I love Cade Cunningham. 25 points a game. Over 5 rebounds. Just about 10 assists per game.
Yep.
But Nikola Jokic is averaging over 28 points a game, over 12.5 rebounds, 10 assists, a walking triple-double, and shooting 57% from the field. Can we really knock that?
No, we can't. And that's like I said, to me it's between Cade and Jokic right now. But what I encourage you to do is watch full games of the Nuggets and the Pistons and see what they do for every second they're on the court when they don't have the ball, when they're not guarding someone, and especially when they are guarding someone, and what they do in clutch time. Jokic is having a phenomenal season, don't get me wrong, and he would be a very deserving MVP. But I think Cade is right there, and I think there's aspects to the game that Cade does better than Jokic. And to me, I look at the defense, when I look at the top 5 MVP candidates right now, I feel like Cade might have the best defensive highlight, at least going up against Jokic and SGA, which were the other 2 names I brought up.
Now I'm going to say something right here, Zach. When we're looking at what this award really is, the most valuable player. And you look at a guy like Cade Cunningham, who was in Detroit, a team that has been terrible for years. Like you said, just 2 seasons ago, they had one of the worst seasons of all time. What he is doing is incredible with, like you said, one of the youngest rosters in the NBA. I stand with you 100%. If they are able to secure the first seed or even the second seed in the East, I think Cade Cunningham should be MVP, if not at least just top 2 in voting, because he has been incredible. What he has done for this Pistons franchise, he is the most valuable player for their success. So if we're really looking at what this award is supposed to be, Cade Cunningham meets all the criteria to win the MVP this year. I stand with you 100%. I want to thank you 2 guys for calling in today, but we do have to move on to our next segment. For those of you that don't know, the World Baseball Classic is officially underway with big matchups happening all over the world, because there are worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
I mean, like you said, it's a worldwide baseball tournament. We have countries that I didn't even know had sports playing up against different teams all around, getting tuned up. So, Ryan, you're extremely excited about this, so I want to start with you. What has really grabbed your attention early on in these early rounds of the World Baseball Classic?
Well, can I just tell you one thing? The United States is absolutely crushed in their exhibition games, so that's really exciting. Aaron Judge is hitting bombs. Alex Bregman is hitting bombs. Clement is going off. I mean, everybody's going off.
They did play the Rockies.
They did play the Rockies, but there's just this feeling, especially when it comes to the WBC. I get to see all these different countries, all these different players, all these different teams, and people I've never even seen before just have their spotlight on the stage. And I just think there's just nothing more exciting than that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for this tournament for many reasons. One, the U.S. looks great, and I love national sports competitions, right? You saw me during the Olympics. I was hyped, and now we get it with baseball, and it's a playoff baseball atmosphere in March. It's great. I mean, March is one of the greatest months for sports, especially when you have tournaments like this. This is a really good season. But you look, especially tomorrow, right? Today we have, I think, Australia playing again and Korea playing again. I think they already played. But tomorrow
Korea won 11-4 today.
If you want to see some of the most entertaining sport, you can. At 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 2, we got Cuba and Panama. That junk is awesome. If you've ever watched Caribbean baseball, it's so fun to watch. And the U.S. kicks it off. Kicks their official run off against Brazil tomorrow at 8 p.m. So, great baseball to watch. Super, super pumped.
I got another thing to say real quick, Richard. And the thing that I love about the World Baseball Classic, and I saw it last year in the first opening game, it sounds almost like a soccer game in those stadiums. There's loud, there's kazoos, there's fans cheering no matter what. And it's an awesome thing, Schrader.
Yeah, and one great thing, I don't know which games are being played in Miami, but for those games being played in Miami,
it's going to be a movie.
Don't forget that Lone Depot Park lets you bring in flags, drums, horns. I've been to games in Lone Depot Park to watch the Marlins, and there's people walking around. It's just like a Latin American band, like a mariachi band, bro, just walking around the stadium. They get going, and it's awesome. So the environment that brings, that stadium being where the finals are, some of the teams that we basically know are going to be playing in the finals, it's going to be a treat to watch, and it's such a fun environment.
When I finally hang up my jersey and get married, I'm going to have a mariachi band at my wedding, and I cannot wait for that day. So when we're looking at the World Baseball Classic, obviously, like you said, only 2 games going on today. A lot of the exhibition games were yesterday, but looking forward to tomorrow's when the tournament really gets going. When looking at these matchups, like you said, Caribbean baseball is different. If you ever watched the MLB period, you've gotten a taste of the Caribbean and Latin American baseball. It's legit. It's insane. The energy is going to be incredible. What teams are you really looking at to make big moves in this tournament? Because Team USA is obviously one that we're all sitting here rooting for, but there are other loaded teams in this tournament as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go, obviously, USA. You just talked about it, just the big name. But I also like Cuba. I like the Dominican Republic. I like, believe it or not, I feel like some small teams are going to make a move and no one sees it. I've been thinking about this all day long. but correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Great Britain is going to get a couple wins in and out of there and is really going to shock them because, they play Mexico tomorrow.
Isn't that a team people keep making memes about?
Exactly.
Like plumbers and landscapers?
No, that's the Czech Republic.
Okay, that's the Czech Republic.
But that right there is the reason that I think they're going to pop off. They play Mexico tomorrow. I think they're going to get a win there. I just have a feeling that not exactly Great Britain, but some of these small teams are going to make a name for themselves and really get forward in this tournament.
That's an interesting take. I think they're better than
saying
they were.
It's an interesting take is just a great way of saying I've never heard anybody else say that.
I think they're just going to be one of the teams in the tournament. I don't think they're going to be that impressive. They might get one great win, but I think that's going to be it. One team that I really like and that I'm looking at is Venezuela. I'm surprised you didn't say Venezuela.
I was thinking about it.
They have so much talent, right? They have guys like Ronald Acuna. They have guys like Luis Arias. That guy gets on base all the time. But also, it's the environment. I really look at these teams like the Dominican Republic, Panama, Cuba, Venezuela. The reason that I look at these teams is because they eat, sleep, and breathe baseball.
Yep.
And what do they want to do? They want to showcase that on the biggest stage in the world. And Venezuela gets to do that tomorrow at noon on Tubi.
The fact that these games are being aired on Tubi, I think,
and Fox Sports too. I didn't even know that existed.
It's the greatest part. It's the greatest part.
I gotta say one more thing, and I really like this. Is Team Brazil, and this is the reason. They've got a pitcher from my old high school who's still in high school, is a senior, 18 years old, who throws 98 miles an hour fastball.
Goodness.
You went to high school in Brazil?
No. Blessed Trinity I went, but shout out the Titans. But, he himself, when I watched him pitch in high school, of course he's going against big leaguers now, but he was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, and he's been posting things left and right.
He's got a pitch against the United States.
That is true. That is true, but I do got to give a shout-out for him. Being in high school, being 18, and being on the Brazil national team, that's a big accomplishment.
Shout out to him. That's big time. I'll definitely be watching. Hopefully Team USA will bring him back down to earth a little bit. Nothing against him personally. Right, send him back to the high school ranks. Nothing against him personally, but I'm feeling extremely patriotic, especially coming off of the Olympics. World Baseball Classic, extremely exciting. If you have Fox Sports 1, 2, 3, or Tubi. You'll be able to check out every single
Tubi's
game.
Free.
Tubi is free with ads. I can't say what kind of ads you're going to get. They might be advertising Quan Mills books on there. I'm not sure. So be sure to tune in and check out our guys' World Baseball Classic. Extremely exciting event. Now, we're going to take a quick ad break, but when we return, we're going to remind you, it's March 5th. The tournament is getting closer and closer and closer, and we got a whole lot to talk about before we get there. So stay tuned. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
Tune in to Wolf Sports Network throughout the week to hear the very best in UWG sports coverage. Catch live shows, score updates, and breaking news all week long. But sometimes seeing really is believing. And now you can watch your favorite Wolf Sports Network shows live on YouTube. Follow at Wolf Sports Network on YouTube as we bring you into the studio with your favorite shows and personalities. Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
What's up? This is Parker Andell, and I'm the newest voice of Sports Out of Pocket. Step into Lucky Season 7, where the odds are in our favor. Crazy insights, hidden stories, and conversations that will pay off every single time. With a fresh season and a fresh voice, Lucky Sevens is here. Tune in to Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
It's a new semester here at West Georgia, and that means a brand new season of Sports Out of Pocket.
I love Jameis Winston to death, but look at the guy. Like, come on, that's not the veteran quarterback that I want to be. He's a locker room guy.
They got Jonathan Taylor back there. It's like having Saquon, just a little bit worse, but it's like having Saquon.
Tune in to Season 7 of Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network. Get ready to hit the jackpot. Sports Out of Pocket is back for Season 7. The Lucky Seven's final season with me, Jackson Voles. From wild debates to the boldest takes in the game, Jackson is going all in for his final run. 7 seasons, 1 final spin. Don't miss it. Catch Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Binge drinking is consuming 5 or more drinks on one occasion for males and 4 or more for females. However, some college students drink at least twice that amount. That is why Dream City Brewing Company has joined Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign to remind all our wolves to stay safe when drinking, to never drink under the age of 21, and to always have a designated driver. Oh, and throw in some good food while you're at it. When you're out and about, be sure to drink responsibly. Now, like I said before the break, it's basketball season. We are getting closer and closer to the tournament, and with that, a lot of debate's been going on. What teams are going to be in? 64 spots. A lot of teams are going to get in. Now, it's a huge tournament. They're talking about expanding. I really hope they don't. But a lot of teams are going to be left out as well. And one team really shocked me when having these conversations. The 19th ranked Miami, Ohio Redhawks, the only undefeated team in the country, 30-0 overall, 17-0 in conference play. But a lot of people think that they could be left out of the tournament. As of right now, they only have a 79% chance of making it. But the fact they've started off 30-0, in my opinion, should be enough for them to make it no matter what happens in the rest of the season. Welcome on Orlando Oldham to the show. It took me a lot to bring him on today. He's been kind of trying me. But I brought him on anyway. Orlando, how you feeling?
What's up, everybody? I'm just chilling. You know, it's been a great day. It's been a great show so far, guys.
Appreciate it. I'm going to put you on the spot immediately. Do you think the Miami, Ohio Redhawks are at risk of missing the tournament?
I don't think they should be. They should obviously be in. 30-0, like, they're playing amazing. They've proven themselves time and time again. It should be a no-brainer that they should be in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. It just comes down to strength of schedule at this point. That's the only reason why it's even up for debate. But at the end of the day, 30-0 is 30-0 no matter who you're playing against. They can't pick their conference. This is the hand that they're dealt. And, all that they have done is take advantage of that. They won 30-0. They haven't played any ranked opponents yet, and that kind of hinders their probability of making it. But at the end of the day, you go 30-0 in a conference that you're dealt with. You have to slot them in there regardless of what the schedule says, what the committee says. Who else are we going to put over there? A 15 and 14 team over a 30-0 team? It's kind of ridiculous that this even is a conversation. I understand why it is, but it honestly shouldn't be, though.
I agree with both of y'all. Miami being 30-0 is very, very impressive nonetheless, and I think it's almost evil to not have them in the tournament. You said it. They were dealt these games. I get they haven't played a ranked opponent yet this season, but is that exactly their fault? They're in a conference that doesn't have many ranked or non-ranked opponents.
Yeah, they don't have any.
So they're doing and dealting what they have. What they have is all these teams.
They're dealing with what they've been dealt.
Exactly. Dealing with what they've been dealt.
There you go.
Way to help
throw that out there.
Yeah, 30-0. It's very impressive. I think it's evil to not let them in this tournament.
Yeah, the second best team in the conference is Akron, who's 16-1 in conference play. Very impressive. Only one game behind Miami, Ohio, but they're 25-5 overall. Kent State, 13-4 in conference play, 22-8 overall. Like I said, the conference really isn't that strong, but the fact that they have gone 30-0 in the sport of basketball speaks for itself. This is an extremely difficult thing to do. People are trying to knock them because, one, as you said, they haven't beaten any ranked teams, no quad 1 or 2 wins, and they've been winning a lot of close games. But in my eyes, if you win more than 3 close games in the game of basketball, it's not just luck. This is a skill. This is what you do. You can play in close games and win. I think this Miami, Ohio team is extremely impressive. They only have one more game tonight, so if you haven't seen them yet, it is against Ohio University on ESPN2 tonight. Well, no, tomorrow. I have my glasses on. Yeah, tomorrow at 9 p.m. on ESPN2. Be sure to check out the Redhawks. But in my eyes, even if they lose that game tomorrow night against Ohio, they should still make the tournament. And they're still going to I think they should still make the tournament. And even if they lose in the first round of the MAC tournament, end up as a 30-2 team overall, I still believe they should make the NCAA tournament. This is an extremely talented team, and I think they at least deserve a chance. I don't know what they're going to do in the tournament because, yeah, they haven't played any ranked teams. We haven't seen them against top-of-the-line teams in the sport, but they're 30-0, first in the MAC. They fully deserve an opportunity. Now, pivoting over to the association while staying on the topic of basketball, the Boston Celtics have been rolling even without Jason Tatum this year, but it's pretty much been confirmed that he will be back as early as tomorrow night for their game against the Dallas Mavericks. But this is a team that's still been balling without Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown is one of these guys that is in the thick of the MVP race with how he's been performing this season. He's been incredible, averaging over 28 points per game, 7 rebounds and 5 assists, shooting 48% from the field. Orlando, a lot of people are saying that this isn't even Jason Tatum's team anymore.
That's crazy. This is still Jason Tatum's team. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. This is just Tatum's team. Even though Jaylen Brown, he did win the finals for them. He did win that finals MVP. I still think this is Jason Tatum's team. He's been there from the get-go. They built pieces around him in the first place, I feel like, the Boston Celtics. He is the future. He is the franchise. This is Jason Tatum's team.
But you have to factor in the work that Jaylen Brown has been putting in without Tatum. I mean, he's got his team to 41 and 21.
41 and 21, second in the East.
Exactly. He's averaging near 30. I mean, coming back off a torn ACL, I don't know if this could be, for one, are we going to get the same Jason Tatum that we had pre-injury? Possibly, possibly not. 2, I mean, Jaylen Brown has been filling Jason Tatum's spot to the maximum potential. So, I mean, coming back into it, I think that they kind of get Jason Tatum rolling back into the new system. But going forward, I think that this is Jaylen Brown's team, and he has proved that it is and proved why it should be. So, I mean, I don't know. That's a topic up for debate. I'm at the side against you on that one.
I believe it was already Jaylen Brown's team before the injury. I don't think it's crazy because Orlando just proved the point himself. Who won Finals MVP that year? Jaylen Brown was instrumental. There are times when Jason Tatum goes cold. I think he shoots too many threes. He doesn't really play to his skill set a lot of the time. I feel like he tries to be Steph Curry a little bit too much. But Jaylen Brown stays within himself and is a straight-up baller. And he's really proved that point without Jason Tatum being here. They are still the number 2 team in the East, and he is averaging just about 30. Jaylen Brown is one of the best players in the NBA, and this Boston Celtics franchise is his. People have been trying to crown Jason Tatum for a long time, and for good reason. He's a great player, but he's no Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown has shouldered the weight of this team by himself. Yeah, Jason Tatum might have the physical attributes and maybe more talented of a player, but Jaylen Brown has put it together. He is a dog, and I think this Celtics team is his. And we're really going to see it when Tatum comes back, because I think Tatum, coming off an Achilles, hasn't even been a full year. He's going to come back in a more limited role, maybe on minute restrictions early on, do a lot of off-ball work while Jaylen Brown continues to handle the rock. And I think we're still going to see this team be extremely successful, just with Jaylen Brown more so being the face.
Yeah, I completely agree. I like what you said, especially Keyshawn, what you said earlier about is Tatum going to come back as healthy as he was before he tore his Achilles? Is he going to play to the level that he is supposed to, going on to a Boston Celtics team that Jaylen Brown has scored 30 points per game just about, and is one of the best players in the game currently? And I mean, yes, Jaylen Tatum, excuse me.
Take a breath. Jason Tatum.
Excuse me, Jason Tatum, yes, he's an amazing player. He shoots the ball very well, misses from time to time, has some inaccurate spots, but I think Jaylen Brown, really, this is his team right now, and I think if they're going to make a push for the finals as the first team in the Atlantic Division, I think they're for sure that's going to be Jaylen Brown's team.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with you. I want to see how they mold Jason Tatum back into this team, trying to make a push into the playoffs, because coming back, there's only about 20 games or so left, just around there. This would be his first game playing, the first time we're seeing him this season. So I mean, I definitely expect him to be on a minute restriction coming back, and I kind of expect him to kind of limit his role so they can keep him healthy for the playoffs. Because I mean, it's what I want to say, about 10 months since he's torn it. I mean, I don't know the true estimate of the recovery speed on that. I know it usually takes about a year. So
usually a year.
Yeah, usually a year. So he's kind of rushing it back into it. So what I hope to see coming back is him limiting his role, probably starting coming off the bench, and just keep him under insurance until the playoffs come around, and then that's when you fully release him, because they'll need him around that time. You got a healthy Jaylen Brown, a healthy Jason Tatum with supporting cast around him. They're the number 2 seed in their conference. I think it's looking good for the Celtics.
Look, I just saw a clip on Instagram. Jason Tatum was talking to his doctor, and he said, I ain't come back to be no role player. So I'm gonna let y'all just take that as y'all will, but Jason Tatum said he not coming back as no role player, and I think it's time we stop disrespecting the anomaly.
Hey, if he ain't gonna come back good, he's not gonna be that role player.
That nickname ain't really been earned.
The anomaly.
Who calls him that? Who calls him that? You.
So you
come on, it's just you.
It's just ever.
See, guys, they don't have ball knowledge. Okay,
maybe not.
Next topic.
But I will say this before we move on to the next topic, because we are running out of time. I do think if Jason Tatum comes back and he's even 70% of himself on this team, the Celtics probably represent the Eastern Conference in the finals. They are that talented of a team. The rest of the role players around Jaylen Brown have really taken that next step. They were already great, but they've really taken that next step forward. So I do think if you add Jason Tatum to this equation, they represent the Eastern Conference in the finals. They are that good of a team. And Jason Tatum, not call him the anomaly, but he is that great of a player.
That's his name.
But I want to talk about a team here that could also represent the Eastern Conference in the finals. Let me not take a step too far. Let me take it one day at a time. But Dylan Matthews from 92.9 The Game, great friend of the program here at Wolf Sports Network, was on Sports Outta Pocket last night, and he gave a take that I thought I was the only one thinking. He said that the red-hot Atlanta Hawks, who are currently riding on a 5-game win streak after the addition of Jonathan Kuminga, who has been balling with the Hawks, by the way, can work themselves out of the play-in tournament and be the 6th seed going into the playoffs, battling to represent the East in the NBA Finals. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I mean,
because I'm buying it.
I'm loving the Hawks right now. I mean, like you said, they're on a 5-game win streak, and it hasn't even been close games either. They've been beating these teams by at least 15 to 20 or more. They played some good opponents.
Well,
not so much.
We played the Nets, the Wizards, and the Trailblazers.
Played the Wizards twice. Played the Trailblazers.
They have been some bad teams, but I mean, they're not close games. They're looking great. Jalen Johnson's been playing exceptionally well, and the addition of Jonathan Kuminga almost said that nickname you said earlier.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We're workshopping a nickname for Jonathan Kuminga, and it's not air ready.
He only has one nickname, by the way, guys.
It's not ready for on it.
For airing yet, but yeah, I mean, the team's looking well. The addition of Jonathan Kuminga has been great. He's been balling the way that we expected him to play on the Warriors. So
he's a bucket.
Yeah, he is a bucket. That's half of his nickname, but you're going to keep it at that. But great addition. He's been playing well. If he continue to play well, maybe they could play themselves out of the play-in tournament, make a push into the Eastern Conference championship. Hopefully, that may be a step too far, but I'm rooting for the home team, Atlanta Hawks. They've been looking well. Still loving them.
Sorry, Orlando.
No, go ahead.
But I like that take, especially coming up with the upcoming schedule that the Hawks got. I mean, the next 5 games: Philadelphia, Dallas, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Orlando. Shout out Orlando. But had to say it. But I really like it. Although they do have to play Boston 2 more times, they have to play Cleveland 2 more times.
Light work, no reaction.
But I do like the Hawks and their chances to get out of the play-in tournament and then just be a caliber in the playoffs. So I really like that take that Dylan Matthews and as well as you, Richard Reed, had that.
Orlando, how do you feel about this?
Look, Hawks are looking good, but
looking great, actually.
Amazing.
Looking all right. As far as I know, Hawks have just been the most mid team I've ever known in history. There's a stat, actually. They're like their last 90 games, they're like 45 and 45. I think their last like 500 games are like 200 and 250. Like, they're the most mid team ever. I just don't see them making it out the play-in.
That was with Trae Young, though.
It's going to be
at some point that has to stop.
We got Kuminga now.
We're over 500 right now.
Hey, Orlando, you said have been. There's a future.
No, there's no future.
Currently sitting at 32 and 31.
They're looking nice. They're looking nice. But just get ready to play the Bulls or the Heat or the Hornets. I don't even think y'all get past the Hornets, if we're being honest.
What?
I'm not even Hornets are 6-0.
The Hornets are one of the hottest teams in basketball.
They are.
Now, Hornets, I could actually see getting out that play-in and making that 6 seed.
They also they just beat the Celtics in Boston last night.
Hey, I'm a Cleveland fan, and
we know what you are.
I'm even siding with the Atlanta Hawks here. So I got you.
That's real. That's love.
Anywho,
but you are right. The only team that's really kind of scaring me in this Eastern Conference play-in race right now is the Hornets because they have been on fire. The team has been incredible. LaMelo Ball, Con Kneble, Brandon Miller. They've been a really good team. But they ain't faced these Atlanta Hawks yet. Since we brought in Jonathan Kuminga. This team is different. Since Kuminga. And even when they beat us, it was a close game. You know why it was so close? Because Kuminga wasn't there. Keep watching, y'all. Atlanta Hawks basketball is getting great right now. They will be in action this Saturday versus the Philadelphia 76ers at 6 p.m. on NBA TV. And if they lose that game, don't blame me. Blame the players. But that's all we got. That's all we got for Sports Back tonight. We're running out of time here. We end at 7, so I want to go ahead and wrap it up quick. But before we go, I do want to give you a score update from our UWG women's basketball game that are currently playing in the ASUN Conference Tournament. Ryan, how's it looking?
Yeah, West Georgia's kind of closed this gap. They're now only down by 8 points, so 48-56 against Jacksonville, so they're coming back.
How much time's left?
End of the third quarter, about to start the fourth.
Plenty of time. Done close the gap. Keep an eye on our girls. If you have ESPN Plus, be sure to tune in. That is the UWG women's basketball team on the road versus Queens University of Charlotte. Cheer on our girls as they look to move on to the third round of the ASUN Conference Tournament. We'll give you an update on that game on Monday, where you can find us right here, same bat time, same bat channel. I'm Richard Reed for Ryan Kroger, Keyshawn Ward, Orlando Odom, Jackson Schrader. I tried to look in the other room. I didn't see him. Jackson Schrader, Daniel Chaney run the cameras. This is Sports Back on Wolf Sports Network. Have a blessed night.